Hey everyone, so it's time for another book wrap up, and I'm going to show the 3 books that I read this past month. So the first book I finished this month was Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card, and I had heard a lot about this book. I knew about it for a super long time, but I never got a chance to read it, and then the movie came out, and then I got the book because I didn't want to watch the movie without reading the book first. And I'd always known that this book was one of those critically acclaimed, one of those amazing novels that everyone just says is a must read. And while I was reading it, I don't know, maybe it's just not my cup of tea, but I did not enjoy the book. I did find the characters interesting, and there were themes that I thought were very well thought out and very well written, but the whole story, the whole plot, it was just not something that I really enjoy. Maybe I'm not that big of a sci-fi fan when it comes to books, but yeah, I felt really bad because I did not enjoy this book, and I really felt like I should have, just because everyone raves about it all the time. But yeah. The second book I read was Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, and I'm gonna butcher his name, but it's written by Jonathan Safran Foer. So when I had first watched the movie, I had no idea it was a book until I saw this, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll read it, because I had watched the movie and it was interesting, but there were some parts that were kind of boring and I felt were really slow. So I kind of feel like reading this book and then watching the movie would definitely help a lot, because you get to really see inside the characters and really see into the mind of the main character. So the story follows a 9-year-old boy named Oscar who lost his dad during the September 11th attacks, and it just follows him on this kind of scavenger hunt kind of journey, and he's searching for something, and you'll just find out by reading the book. And the last book I read this month was Catch a Falling Star by Culbertson, and if you had watched my first book haul video, this was actually one of the books that I had included in the haul. I wasn't going to read it yet. I kind of like to read my books in the order that I buy them, and this was kind of towards the end of my list, but I kind of needed a break from the 2 really heavy material, the heavy themes that were in the books that I had read previously. So I just decided to give myself a little bit of a break. This was a very simple read, less than 300 pages, and this is the kind of book that I would have loved to read back in middle school or even in the beginning of high school. It is a teen romance kind of book, similar to the stuff that Sarah Dessen would write. So yeah, if you are around middle school, I think this would be an excellent book if you are into kind of the romancy type of books. Alright, so those were the books that I read this past May. If there are any interesting books that you guys have been reading, tell me in the comment section down below, and I'd love to check them out. Alright everyone, that's all for today's video, and I will see you another time. Goodbye!